Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. We're here for this week's United Way Partner Spotlight with Cheyenne from Big Brothers Big Sisters. Welcome back.
Thanks, Emily. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Tell us about Big Brothers Big Sisters and what you guys do there.
Well, just for people who might not know what Big Brothers Big Sisters is, you'd be surprised how many people ask me, what do you guys do? We are a mentoring program, so we have bigs and littles in our program. The bigs are adults in our community who take on a little, who is someone who is going to be under 16 or under, and they just mentor them throughout their life. We match them and we stay together with them as well. Our match support specialist will be there to kind of guide them through that process and help them with anything that we need, or anything that they need.
Yeah, and those matches last a lifetime, really. Like,
yeah,
I've seen people talk about, like, they're still in contact. That kid is 30 now.
Yeah, I have one actually that was in Helena several years ago, and now the kid, now an adult, was graduating college in Colorado last year, and the big actually went to his graduation, so he drove all the way there from Montana to see his little, now his adult little, graduate from college. So, you know, people ask me how long do our matches last. It really just depends on the people who are involved. So if the big and the little really hit it off and they want to stay matched until the little turns 18, we let them do that. But at that point, when they've been matched for so many years, we do contact them less and less. I mean, it'll be like once every 6 months. And so we really go by what their flow is and what their individual match needs. So in the beginning, when they're matched, we're contacting them a lot more to check in and see how things are going. But it is just a really special relationship that a lot of these matches are making in our community.
Yeah. What other kinds of programs do you guys have, and how can people participate in those?
So I'll talk about the two different programs that we have in the Helena community. We have a community-based program, which is probably the more typical one that you think of when you hear Big Brothers Big Sisters. So that's going to be where we expect the big and the little to spend about 6 to 8 hours together. Usually they're meeting up after school or on the weekends, and they do all kinds of things together. I think that's one of the number one things that can hold someone back from becoming a big, is that they're like, I don't really know what I would do with a kid. Well, a lot of these kids are maybe living with a single parent or grandparents or even in foster care, and so they're just looking for someone to spend a little bit of extra time with. I always tell people they'd really be happy just to run errands with you on the weekend. But hopefully you're doing something a little bit more fun than that. Here in Montana, of course, our matches love to get outdoors, especially in the summer and the spring. So hiking, fishing, boating, things like that. And then in the winter, when you're stuck inside, there's always fun things to do. Sleeping Giant Lanes partners with us to give a little bit of a discount. We actually have a big benefits program where we partner with multiple businesses throughout the community in order to make it possible for our bigs and littles to do things like that together at a low cost, because we don't want the cost to keep someone from getting involved and them thinking that possibly they're going to have to spend a ton of money hanging out with a kid, because that's definitely not what we want. We don't want this to be a burden for them. We want them to enjoy it and have fun. And so those are just a few of the things that they do together. And then we also have a school-based program. So the school-based program is where the big is matched with the little, and they're going to meet with them once a week at school. It's usually during lunch or recess, and they can do, you know, they can play basketball with them in the gym, they can hang out with them outside, they can read books or help them with schoolwork in the classroom. And then we also have a school-based plus program. So that would be where they're doing that school program and meeting with them once a week there. But then on top of that, if they wanted to meet with the little for a special occasion, say the little's birthday is coming up and they want to take them out for ice cream, there's a possibility to do that too. So if someone is interested in becoming a big, they can go on our website and they would do an orientation. That tells them what the program is about, what would be expected of them, and then they would fill out an application if they're still interested. Then we call them and we do kind of an interview with them. So that usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, because we're asking them a lot of questions. And we do the same thing with the littles and their families. We ask a lot of questions because we really want these matches to be successful, and a part of that is making sure that we get to know them really well so that we can match them with the right person. So after they've done the interview, they're going to do a background check at the Department of Justice, which now includes getting fingerprinted. We do a driving record check on them and reference checks as well. So it sounds like it's a process, but the work is really on our staff to take care of all that and make sure it's a safe environment, obviously, for the little. So that's how someone would get involved if they're interested. They would visit our website, bigcentral.org, to start that process.
Great. Yeah, you've covered a lot of things there.
Sorry.
That's exactly how it works. So you've talked a little bit about the benefits of being a big. Do you have any stories that just talk about like how really important it is and how the bigs actually talk about how much they get back from this program, not just the littles?
It's true, and a lot of the times you hear from the bigs when they sign up that they want to help the child, but I think that what a lot of bigs realize over the course of their match is that they get a lot more out of this than they thought they were going to, or maybe even that the little is getting out of it, because you're helping the child learn, but you're also learning about yourself when you are spending time with a kid like this. We actually have our big sister and our little sister of the year. Emily and Araya are their names, and Emily is now a board member with Big Brothers Big Sisters because of all the great work that she's done with Araya. But that's just one story that, Araya started off very, very shy and didn't really want to do things, and with Emily by her side, she's become so brave, learned how to do so many things. Emily taught her how to ride a bike, and their relationship has just been so special.
Yeah, a lot of times my kids would just want to go have coffee. So it's that simple. Like, you just can go have coffee with a kid.
Absolutely, and they just really need someone to talk to sometimes.
Yeah, and you can listen, especially if it's a girl, they like to talk.
Yes.
Do you have any fundraising events coming up that we can support?
We do. So we have our Cash for the Kids raffle going on right now. Tickets are $20 each or 6 for $100, so you get a little discount if you buy 6. The grand prize is $10,000, so a lot of cash is on the table. Second place prize is $2,000, and then third place prize is $1,000. We also have our golf tournament coming up in Great Falls. If you want to drive over from Helena, I drive over from Helena in the morning, and it's usually just a beautiful day over in Great Falls playing golf to support this cause. So we've got a couple spots left there.
And how can people get those raffle tickets?
So raffle tickets can be bought online. They can also be bought from staff, board members, volunteers who are with us. And then we're kind of tabling all over town right now. So we've been at the farmer's market, we've been at hardware stores, places like that, Safeway, just selling tickets everywhere that we can.
All right. And so if somebody can't be a big, how else can they help Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, one of the best ways that they can help us is to obviously donate, but then word of mouth is huge in our community in Helena. So if you go and tell someone, hey, I talked to Cheyenne from Big Brothers Big Sisters today, and she said they're really needing mentors right now. Do you think you can help? Just a neighbor, a coworker, a friend, it can be anyone. So I know a lot of people are busy, but if you know someone who you feel like is up for the challenge, just let them know.
But like you said, if you're busy, you can always just have them tag along with you to the things that you're already doing.
Exactly, and they would love to do it with you.
Are you looking for more men than women as usual?
Yes. So I was going to tell you, we've got 9 boys on our wait list right now. They range in ages from 6 all the way up to 15. So I know a lot of bigs have preferences for, maybe I want to hang out with like an older kid. And that's one thing that we're working on right now is kind of our workforce development. And a lot of the littles who are in our program maybe need someone to talk to about what the next step is in their life. So those who are on the older spectrum, like 15, 14, things like that, I think that the bigs are talking with the littles about, what their next step is after high school and things like that.
And people can sign up as a couple. So if you're like, I don't know if I want a boy or girl or whatever, you can tag team that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a unique situation, but I think it's fun for those couples who are involved. So they sign up as a couple, and I think that also helps take some of the responsibility off as far as like, if there's one week that you can't meet, then maybe your partner can go and meet with the child instead. And then it's just fun to get together as a couple and, take a kid out for ice cream or something like that.
Yeah, so I've only raised boys, so I have to. I've raised a lot of other people's girls, but I'm better at the boys stuff.
Well, we've got a lot of those on our list who would love to have a male in the community step up and be a mentor to them.
Great. Anything else before we sign off? Tell us again your website and where people can get a hold of your information.
Our website is bigcentral.org, and all of our information is on there, phone numbers. If you have any questions about what it's like to be a big, you can always call us or email us, and we'll be happy to talk with you.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Emily.
Thanks, Helena. We'll see you again next week.